And observe the placement of your head on the mat. Are you in the center of the head? Is the head tilted to one side or the other? Is it shifted to one side or the other? And is it tilted more down towards one shoulder or the other? So observe these things. And also the chest and the abdomen. Observe the chest and the abdomen and release any holding on there. So we're going to start with some gentle movements, somatic movements to sense what it feels like to have a tight muscle and then release it and really pay attention to letting go and releasing. So we'll do some gentle movements and then we'll move into the more restorative part. This is a little active, but it's very gentle and peaceful movement. Okay. So you're going to bend your knees one by one. And in order to do so, just turn one leg out and slide the knee up, relax the foot and just slide it up comfortably to where it wants to stop. And then lift the knee up off the ground, tilt it a little towards the middle of your body. And so that your other leg will more easily turn out, and then lift that, draw that knee up towards the hand, just as much as it'll comfortably go. And then lift the knee up off the mat, and then rock your pelvis a little bit side to side, and then adjust your feet so that the feet are a comfortable distance from each other and from your buttocks. And then your arms are a comfortable distance from your body, not too high up towards the shoulders. And then just observe again the curve of your lower back and your neck. Okay, and then we're going to do a movement called arch and release. So basically you're arching your lower back and then smoothly releasing the engagement of the lower back muscles. So your hips stay on the ground. You don't lift your hips off the ground, but you're going to pay attention to your lower back muscles just above the sacrum and engage those muscles and roll your hips forward towards your sitting bone and tailbone like a rolling pin, pressing the sitting bones and tailbone down. Feel how your lower back arches off the mat, right above your sacrum area, and then smoothly release that engagement and come back to neutral and observe any shaky, jerky, or cliff-like falling off sensations. And that's where there might be some sensory motor amnesia where you can't feel the muscle and therefore it doesn't release well. Muscles can just engage and release. That's all they do, right? And we tend to hold a lot of chronic over-engagement. So observe how your neutral may have changed now after that. Maybe you feel a little flatter on the ground after the engage and release. So we'll do this a few more times. As you inhale, engage your lower back muscles and roll your pelvis forward like a rolling pin down towards your sitting bone and tailbones. So your tailbone and sitting bone. So you're pressing down there and the lower back arches. And if you relax the muscles at the back of the neck, it will pull your chin in towards your chest. And then as you exhale, you smoothly release. And you can take as many breaths as you want for each movement. It can be several, like 3 or 4 breaths, doesn't matter. But it does kind of coordinate a little bit with the breath as you become more fluid with it, okay? Observe the release and observe neutral once you get back to neutral. Just observe the sensation of the muscles in your back body. Just focusing on the back. Inhale, you engage the lower back muscles to lift the lower back off the ground and roll your hips forward towards your sitting bones. So you're pressing your sitting bones and tailbone down, lifting your lower back and rolling your hips forward. And allow the back of the neck to release. The chin pulls into the chest. So you're shortening your spine when you contract your back. And then you smoothly release the engagement of your back muscles and observe the release of those muscles and come back to neutral. Don't engage the muscles in the front of the body. Keep the muscles in the front of the body passive and neutral. Inhale, you engage the lower back and roll the hips forward, pressing the sitting bones and tailbone down. Release any holding on in the front of the body and allow the back of the neck to lengthen. Exhale. First, pause for a moment and feel the engagement of the back muscles, and then smoothly release the muscles at the back of the body and really sense and feel them. Slow down the release. Take several breaths and come back to neutral and observe neutral and pause there and breathe. And then we're going to do the opposite movement, which is flatten. So it's engaging the body, the muscles in the front of the body, releasing the muscles in the back. So inhale to prepare. And then as you exhale, sink your lower abdomen down towards your spine. So when you do this, it's called your transverse abdominis. It's like in the blender, you know, that hole in the blender that pulls down. So sinking down in the middle of your lower abdomen, it'll pull your frontal hip points in towards each other. And it will start to pull your knees in towards each other just a little if you allow that. Sink the abdomen down and let your hips roll back. So your sitting bones and tailbone come up off the ground and you're pressing your lower back down and sacrum area down. And then as you inhale, you smoothly release the engagement of your lower abdomen, come back to neutral and observe neutral as you exhale and breathe here. So now you should feel again more curve coming into your back now that you're releasing the muscles in the front. And there is a natural curve in your lower back. Right? So you inhale, and as you exhale, you sink your lower belly down, let your hips roll back. So your sitting bones and tailbone lift up, and you press the lower back down into the ground firmly and the sacrum area. And as you do this, and if you relax your neck, you're going to feel your chin lifts a little bit. And then as you inhale, you smoothly release the engagement of your abdominal muscles, come back to neutral, and observe neutral in your pelvis, your abdomen, your lower back. So now maybe there's even a little more curve back in your lower back. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, sink the lower belly down. Let your hips roll back now like a rolling pin. Sitting bones and tailbone curl up. Sitting bones curl up along the backs of your thighs, right? And you're pressing the lower back down. And then find the abdominal region by the belly button and sink there. See if you can get a little more pressing of your middle back down. And when you do that, observe how your chin really lifts, your head falls back if you relax your neck, and your shoulders even lift off the ground and curl in towards each other. And then as you inhale, smoothly release all that abdominal engagement, come back to neutral, exhale, and observe neutral. So again, we're just working with the front muscles, not the back. The back body totally relaxes. And we'll do this again. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, sink the lower belly down, the hips roll back, not by pushing into the feet, but by engaging the abdomen. And then if that's comfortable, lift the tailbone, curl the sitting bones up, press the middle of the waist down. And then if that's comfortable, you go all the way to the upper waist at the lower front ribs, sort of like a crunch, right? But you let the head fall back and the shoulders curl in. And you really engage like that six-pack ab area. And then smoothly release all that engagement. Slow release. Make sure you release the lower abdominal region so your pelvis comes back to neutral, and observe neutral. See how neutral has again changed. Maybe you feel even a little bit more curve all along your spine. And then go ahead and extend your legs and come back to Shavasana. And observe how you feel once again in Shavasana with the feet a little bit apart. Let the feet fall apart and observe. See if you feel any different in the back of your body, the part that meets the floor. So they always used to say, if you have a bad back, sleep on a hard floor, right? And why is that? Because you can feel where your body's holding on and you have to release it in order to get comfortable, right? So we're using the floor as feedback to feel where we're holding on and then encourage the release. And so ideally you would feel softer in the back of the body now. So we're working with two primary reflexes. The back body reflex, which is engage, 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 and never let go. So that when the baby finds its back muscles, it engages to lift and roll over and get up, and right. So that's a back body. It's the green light reflex. Go, go, go. Getting stuck there. And then the front body engagement is the startle reflex, or the red light reflex, or the contraction and protect the front of the body, right? So we're working with these two major reflexes, which become habitual patterns of holding on to tension in the body. So we're going to do this one more time, going back and forth between those two with the breath in between. So when you're ready, go ahead and use that lazy ragdoll method to bend your knees up again, one by one. Tilt the knee out to the side, draw the knee up. Don't try to get it into some perfect shape where you draw the foot up. Forget the foot, it's just the knee, right? Don't draw the foot up, draw the knee up. So if you're directing the action from the foot, then it's over engagement. So you're trying to learn how to do this in a really easy way, using as little effort as possible to achieve, so you don't waste your energy, right? But the knees go out to the side to lift up. right? So like a windshield wiper. We'll keep working on that. So now once you're up here, adjust your feet so they're a comfortable distance from your buttocks and from each other, so you don't have to use much effort at all to hold your knees up. And then bring your arms a comfortable distance from your sides, not too high up, a little closer in maybe. Okay, and then we'll go back and forth between these two moves. So first is arch, the second one is flatten. So the first is engaging the back body, the second one engaging the front body. Okay, so now as you're ready, on your inhale, lift your lower back up and roll your pelvis forward, engaging your lower back muscles. Press your sitting bones down, press your tailbone down, and let your back arch and let the back of your neck lengthen. You can even press the outer edge of your upper arms down and start to turn your shoulders a little bit into external rotation and really get the back all the way off the mat if you're comfortable with that. And then smoothly release all that engagement and come back to neutral and observe neutral. And then take a breath as you exhale. And you remember, you can take as many breaths as you want. Just breathe freely. Sink your lower belly down, right, towards your spine. Let your hips roll back. So your sitting bones and tailbone curl up off the ground. Press the lower back down. And then sink the middle of the waist and press the middle of your back down. And then sink your upper waist down at your lower ribs like an abdominal crunch. Keep curling your tailbone up and let your head fall back, right? And your shoulders will lift a little bit. So you're engaging the front. Feel that engagement and then smoothly release, slowly, slowly as you inhale. Again, you can take many, many breaths. Smoothly release all the engagement of the front and come back to neutral and observe neutral. And then we'll repeat this 2 more times or so. So as you inhale, lift your lower back up and roll your pelvis forward like a rolling pin. Press your sitting bones and tailbone down. Release what's holding on in the front and continue to take that arch all the way up into your upper back as you're ready, turning your upper arms into external rotation, and then allow your knees to come a little bit apart even. Really engaging the back, and then smoothly release all that engagement of the back of the body and come back to neutral and observe neutral. You can adjust your arms a little closer. You can adjust your legs however you need to. And then flatten. So engaging the front, releasing the back. Take an inhale as you exhale, sink the lower belly down. Let your hips roll back. Press the lower back down. Let your sitting bones and tailbone lift. Press the middle of the waist down. Press the upper waist down. So now your sitting bones and tailbone really lift. Head falls back. Start to roll your upper arms into internal rotation towards the sides of your body as your knees come in towards each other. Give a little squeeze. Let your head fall back. And then smoothly release all that engagement. Come back to neutral and observe neutral again. And we're going to do it 1 more time. You can take it all the way into the flower, it's called, for bigger engagement if you like, or make it more subtle, whatever works best for you to observe where you're holding on and release. So again, this time it's inhale, it's arch, right? So you lift your lower back, roll your pelvis forward, press your sitting bones and tailbone down. Let your knees come apart a little. And then engage, take the arch all the way into your upper back as you're ready, and press the outer edge of the upper arms down and roll your upper arms into external rotation. You can even take your knees all the way out to the side if you like, towards Baddha Konasana. So this is the flower opening. Back body engage, front body release. And then slowly release all that engagement. Come back to neutral and observe neutral. You might want to bring your arms in a little closer. Okay, take a breath and observe neutral. And then as you exhale, remember, take as many breaths as you want. Sink your lower belly down. Your knees might fall together. Let your sitting bones and tailbone curl up. Press the sacrum and the lower back down. Press the middle waist down. And then the rib cage at the front, sink that down so that your head falls back, your shoulders roll up, and then turn your arms all the way into internal rotation. You can go all the way up so the backs of the hands are on the outer thighs and you squeeze the knees together. Head falls back. So this is the bud of the flower. And then smoothly release all that engagement. Come to neutral and observe neutral. Take a breath, make any adjustments, and then extend your legs 1 by 1 and come back to Shavasana. And reassess Shavasana yet again and see if there are any changes in how your body feels as it meets the mat. So when you're in Shavasana, let your feet come a little bit apart so your inner thighs release. Let your arms come a little bit away from your sides and turn your palms up so that you're not pulling your shoulders into internal rotation. So anatomical neutral would be with the arms turned out. It's a neutral position for your body. Let your fingers curl. Don't extend. That's engagement. Just relax. Don't actively curl or extend. Just let them do what they will do and observe. So this is somatic movement where you're just very gently moving your body and you're learning how to contract muscles and what contraction feels like, and then smoothly release. And a very important part of having a human body, which is called a tensegrity, the form of it, which is a system of ropes and pulleys, right? So we have all these muscles and connective tissue holding our bones into a certain shape, and then it gets pulled out of shape. And when it gets pulled out of shape, all kinds of problems occur, right? So when you engage one side of the body, let's say the back, in order to get more freedom of movement, you need to release what's holding on in the front body. And the opposite is also true. So if you want more freedom of movement, when you engage the front of the body, you have to release what's holding on in the back of the body to get more freedom of movement. And the same side to side and cross lateral. So now we're going to do some windshield wiper type movements. So with the opening up of the leg, turn one leg out, just slide the knee up. Don't pull the foot up, and don't do it with the foot. Imagine someone's holding behind your knee and pulling it up like a marionette. And then lift the knee up off the ground, tilt that knee into the midline of the body, let the other knee turn out, slide the knee up like someone's pulling you behind the knee, and then tilt that leg up. Okay, and then let your knees shift a little side to side and rock side to side on your pelvis. Then widen your feet all the way to the outer edges of your mat. Turn your toes in, heels apart, and let your knees fall towards each other. So you're like pigeon-toed and internally rotated in your legs. And just be there for a few breaths. Don't squeeze your inner thighs together to bring the knees together. Just let the knees fall in. And observe how in this position your legs are internally rotated, turned in towards each other, towards the midline, right? And the effect of that on the back of your body, can you feel how your hips are turned in a little bit towards each other? There is a little bit of movement here in the pelvis, right? The hips can turn in and out. And observe how the buttocks broadens away from the sides of the sacrum. And the lower back gets a little relief when that happens. Just observe that. And then go ahead and take your knees wide apart and adjust your feet so they're more neutral and a comfortable distance from your buttocks, but wide apart to the outer edges of the mat. And take your arms a little bit more out to the side. And if you don't have enough space, maybe faina, why don't you move a little down this way? And then, yeah. What is your name? Mary. Yeah, move a little that way. Okay. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Just have enough space to extend your arms out to the side, more in line with your shoulders, not above your shoulders, but more in line with the shoulders. And we'll start with the right leg. So then you're going to dip the right leg into the midline, and don't forcefully do it, but allow it to release. When you allow the right leg to release in towards the center, you'll feel your right hip turns in as well. So a little bit, your right hip comes off the ground and your left leg releases out to the side a little bit. That's fine. Let your left leg release out just a little bit, but really focus on the internal rotation of your right leg and hip as it comes in towards the middle of your body. And when that happens, you have to let go of what's holding on in your outer hip and right buttock, right? Just observe that. Skin, feel things at the level of the skin. That's where we have the most sensation, right? At the skin. The skin is also pulling, right? Because the skin gets stuck to the connective tissue, which gets stuck to the muscle, which gets stuck to the bone. Now lift the right leg up and come back to neutral and let your hips rock a little side to side and widen your inner thighs and pelvic floor. And then come back to neutral and again, let your right leg dip into the midline, turning the right leg again into internal rotation. The right hip turns into internal rotation. Now observe the front of your right thigh and allow your right hip to lift a little bit more off the mat as you reach your right knee a little bit towards the skinny edge of the front of your mat. So you feel the stretch now on the front of your right thigh and the front of your right hip. So your hip flexor groin area and your lower abdomen, without overly engaging your lower back. In fact, don't engage your back, just release the front. And observe that internal rotation and length on the front of the leg, the waist, the groin, and so on. And then inhale and raise your leg up and come back. Roll a little side to side, widen your inner knees and thighs, come back to neutral, and we'll do it one more time. So the right leg turns in, the right hip turns in, releasing the leg into the middle, releasing the left leg a little bit out to the side. And then reach the right knee towards the front of the mat as you let the right hip lift off the ground a little more. And then release your left leg, inner left leg release, and let your whole left leg release out to the left in a wide-legged windshield wiper, so that your legs are like in the shape of windshield wipers. And just observe that. Couple of breaths. Okay, and then we'll come up and do that on the other side. So lift your right leg, both your legs up, and then roll a little side to side on your sacrum, pelvis, and observe. And then adjust your feet and legs so your feet are wide, inner thighs, pelvic floor is wide. Now, let your left knee turn in towards the middle of your body and just allow there to be a release rather than a forcing. And observe how this side feels different than the other side, right? Let your right leg go a little bit more out to the side to make space. Let your left hip turn in along with the leg as you're able. And observe that. You may need to adjust your feet. Your feet might slide a little around. That's okay. Observe that internal rotation of your left leg and hip, right? And then inhale, raise the left leg up. And you can rock again a little side to side on your sacrum, widen your knees and feet. And then again, let your left leg tilt into the middle, right? Internal rotation of the leg and the hip. And then lengthen the front of the leg. So allow the front of your right leg to reach more towards the skinny edge of the front of your mat, left hip coming off the mat, right leg maybe going a little bit more out to the side to make space for that to occur. And observe the length on the front of your left thigh and groin and waist area. And then inhale and lift that up and come back and roll a little side to side on the back of your pelvis, hip area. Widen your knees and inner thighs. Take a breath, adjust your feet and arms and everything. And then we'll do it one more time, dipping the left leg in. Internally rotate the left leg, the hip. Let the left knee reach towards the front edge of the skinny edge of the mat. Let the left hip come more off the ground so you're releasing the front of the left leg, and then allow the right leg to release all the way out to the side, releasing the inner right thigh. And observe this wide-legged windshield wiper. Be here and breathe. Let your left hip come off the ground more, Faina. Let your left hip lift off the ground and turn in. Yeah. Observe the skin. Under the skin, the connective tissue. Under that, the muscles, which are all wrapped in connective tissue as well. And then the bones, right? How they're turning. The little twist. And then inhale and raise your legs up. And then roll side to side a couple of times. And adjust your feet so they're a little closer together. And adjust your arms as needed. And we're going to go back and forth a few times. So you're going to let your legs release to the left. And you can adjust how you slowly control that release. So the right hip comes off the ground, right? It turns in. Right leg reaches towards the front edge of the mat. And then allow your head to release without turning it so much, opposite of the legs. So what will your nervous system allow you to release instead of forcefully making it happen? So if you allow it, your head will release to the right, opposite of the legs. And then inhale and raise your legs up. Let your head come back to neutral. You need to make adjustments if things get sticky. That's fine. And then let your legs release to the right. And again, slow, controlled release as you allow your head to release to the left. And you can let your feet slide around a little, adjust your feet and legs. That's fine. So the left hip comes off the ground. Yep. Good. And you're not hardening anything in the back body. And then as you inhale, raise the legs up. And exhale, legs to the left. Let the head release to the right. So we'll add the arms as you're able, okay? So the legs are in windshield wipers, right? And now the arms, we're going to do wash rag. So you lift the right shoulder a little bit off the ground, draw the right shoulder blade and the shoulder down, and externally rotate your right arm. So your elbow point lifts up off the ground. You're engaging your arm muscles, and you turn the hand to face the top of your head. And see if this allows your head to release more to the right. And then release your right elbow down, relax your right arm, and lift your legs up. Your head will come back to center, and then release your legs to the right, head to the left. Observe your left shoulder. It tends to get stuck on the ground, right? Lift your left shoulder off the ground, draw that left shoulder blade down, lift the elbow, and turn that arm. So the left arm is engaged. Turn the arm into external rotation, away from the left side of the body. So the palm faces the head side, and observe how that lets you turn your head more to the left. Release the left arm down, and then raise the legs up, head comes back to neutral, legs to the left, head to the right, lift the right shoulder and turn that right arm into external rotation. So your shoulder comes away from your ear, right? And then your arm turns towards the top of your head. Palm faces the top of your head. Release the right arm, raise the legs up, legs to the right, head to the left. Lift the left shoulder, draw the shoulder blade down the back, turn that left arm into external rotation, relax any holding on. Observe how the neck releases more to the left. Release the left arm, raise the legs up, legs to the left, head to the right, turn the right arm into external rotation. Then lean to the right a little, lift the left shoulder up. Now the left shoulder is going to go into internal rotation. So the shoulder turns in towards the chest, the elbow comes off the ground, and the palm can either face the ground or it also faces the top of the head. So it's like you're twisting a wash rag, right? Then you release the arms, lift the legs, the head comes back to neutral, release the legs to the right, head to the left. Lift the left shoulder, turn it into external rotation, and then lift the right shoulder and turn the shoulder in towards the chest, turning that arm into internal rotation. Palm can face down or also the top of the head. So this is that wash rag, right? And the right shoulder and the left hip are coming closer together. Observe how it frees up your neck even more. Release your arms, lift your legs, release your legs, and take your arms into wash rag. So you can explore whatever part of this you understand. Okay. And then I can come and assist you as you would like. Okay. So if your legs are going to the right, then your head's going to the left. Okay. So it's a little twist, right? And then the arm you're looking at, you want to free up the neck, right? So that's external rotation. Yeah. So just focus on that for now. And then release your arm back to neutral. So when you release, let go of engagement, back to like a rag doll, and then lift your legs up, and then release your legs, head, and then turn that arm into external rotation, shoulder down, away from the ear. Yeah, and observe. So don't do it from your hand. We do everything from there, right? Do it from the shoulder blade. So whenever you move your arms, you want to move your arms from your wings, your pecs, then your shoulder blade. Yes, now release the arm completely. And when you release, try to do it in a slow manner so you get more awareness, right? And then come back up. Okay. And then finish up and come back to neutral and then come back to Shavasana and be in Shavasana. So as you learn these moves, and then you like the first one you're sticky, second one you're less sticky, third one you're less sticky, then you start to get stay there. You get some real freedom of movement, right? And then you can kind of go back and forth and play around like you're a snake, you know. Now come back to Shavasana and observe how you feel. Right? So the idea is to let go of all the body armor, the outer body armor that's protecting us from our inner wounds, right? From hurting ourselves more or whatever. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And observe any changes you feel in your body. Yeah. Maybe you feel softer, more spread out, more like a tortoise coming out of its shell than a tortoise that's cramped up in its shell, which is what January and February are all about, right? So this gives you a little freedom, hopefully, from that. Okay? And be like a rag doll. Yeah, there we go. Access your inner rag doll. Good. Yeah. So we'll do moves and then we'll do other things. So roll your legs together, Supta Tadasana, reclining mountain pose. So the inner edges of your feet come together and legs. And then push your heels forward, especially your inner heels. Pull your outer heels back toward your outer knees and outer hips. Now, firm your inner knees down, firm your outer knees down, firm above and below the knees down. Okay, as you extend through your heels, firm your knees. Bend your elbows alongside your ribs. Get close in. So your hands face each other, fingers spread. Push down from your wrists into your elbows. Lift your upper back off the ground and roll the outer edge of your upper arms down, and then walk your elbows more down towards your hips. So observe that lift of your chest, like bridge pose. Now widen your diaphragm, your lower front ribs, and sink the sides of your waist down just under your front ribs, right? And then the lower belly towards the spine. And then extend your arms alongside your hips. Firm your elbows, firm your knees, flex your feet, and extend your hands. And then inhale, take your arms overhead, palms face each other. Keep your elbows straight. If they don't touch the ground, that's okay. But if you can, you touch your thumb tips to the ground overhead and reach your arms and reach your leg and lengthen your torso. Now, as you exhale, sink your lower front ribs towards your lower back ribs. That'll help you lift your arms up. Bend your right knee and then interlace your fingers just below your right knee or behind your right knee. And just hold your knee. And observe your right buttock and lower back, right? So roll your outer right hip and thigh down. And as you do that towards the bottom of your mat, you'll feel your left leg might hike up a little bit. So you're trying to adjust your pelvis so you're not hiking your right hip up. Relax your hip flexors that you use to engage to bend your knee and broaden your shoulders and chest. And take an inhale, the abdomen will push up a little bit in towards the thigh. And then as you exhale, sink your lower belly down, like flatten, right? And then allow your top of your right hip to release towards the bottom of your right buttock and let your right sitting bone travel up off the ground along the back of the thigh towards the back of the knee as you gently pull the knee up in towards your chest and lengthen your right buttock and lower back and extend your left leg and roll your inner left leg down. And then inhale and extend your right leg, arms overhead, line up the inseam of your feet and legs. And then as you exhale, sink your ribs to lift your arms and bend your left knee and interlace your fingers just below the left knee or behind. And just hold it for a few breaths. Relax your left foot and lower leg. Right leg's a little active as if you were standing. Left leg is totally relaxed. Roll that left hip and thigh away from you and observe how that hikes the right hip up and see if you can find even pelvis. Relax the hip flexors. Take an inhale, belly out. And then as you exhale, let your lower belly sink towards the back and let the left top of your left hip move down away from your lower back. So there's more space in your lower back towards your bottom of your buttocks, and let your left sitting bone, the bottom of your buttocks, curl up off the ground and along the back of your left thigh towards the back of the knee as you pull your left knee up towards your chest and stretch out the front of your right leg and press the inner right leg down. And then you'll do this a few more times on your own. Inhale, you extend your left leg, arms overhead, line up the inseam of the feet and legs and reach and stretch arms and legs to get more opening in your torso. Exhale, sink your ribs to help you bring your arms up, bend your right knee, relax your hip flexor. Slowly allow your right buttock to release, lower back to lengthen, and sitting bone to travel off the ground and along the back of the thigh towards the back of the knee as you compress the right leg and stretch out the front of the left leg. And then continue. Inhale, extend, and exhale, bend. Coordinate the movement with your breath, right? And then once you're in the position, be there for a little bit so you can encourage release. Okay, so stay there and breathe and take your time, and you can move when you're ready. So why don't you try holding here? Yeah, and then don't pull your leg in, just hold there, yeah, and breathe. Just take a few breaths here and continue to roll this leg into internal rotation and extend this leg as if you were standing on the ground. Relax the foot a little. Yeah, and then roll this outer right hip and thigh away as this leg draws up, so now your hips are square. Can you feel that? So when you hike the hip up again and again, that's back pain in the making. Okay, relax here. Yeah, now inhale, push the belly out. Now exhale and be gentle. Exhale, release. Release. And then as you release here, observe how, see that you just, your arms were locked and then they released, right? And you really don't have to use that much effort. This is just releasing, right? And then if you can come back to a little more length there, okay? And then do that on the other side. So remember to release, you have to use the hip flexor to bend the knee up, right? But once you're holding the knee with your arms, hip flexor is the groin at the front. You can relax that, right? See if you can find that. And roll the outer hip away as you draw the straight leg up so the hips are square. Relax and open the chest and breathe and center the chin and in a little bit. Chin in, yeah. Breathe. Don't pull with your arms. They tend to do everything. Hold though, hold. And just let the arm bones, you don't have to use so much muscle. It's just arms and leg. It's like you're holding yourself. Yeah. Now, inhale, belly out. No. Inhale. Yes. Now, when you exhale, don't pull with your arms. Don't engage your abdomen. Release here. Release here. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Release. So allow this to fall. So there's more release, right? What can your nervous system allow you to let go of holding on to? Okay. And then finishing up on the left, inhale, you take the arms overhead, and then exhale, lower the arms down to the sides, and rest in Shavasana again. And assess Shavasana. Palms up, legs apart, open the chest, be that tortoise coming out of its shell. Observe. Sorry, didn't mean to startle you. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Yeah. Inner ragdoll. Yeah. Good. Okay. So we'll do some leg raises and then we're gonna do some leg pumpings. And then we'll do the restorative part. But this is all good. I hope you're enjoying it. This is all good. So now for leg raises, again, roll your legs together. Okay, inner thighs down. Extend through your inner feet. Pull your outer feet back, firm your knees. Bend your elbows alongside your ribs. Lift your chest and draw the shoulder blades down, elbows down. So you have a lifted chest. And then widen the diaphragm and sink the sides of the waist down. Continue to roll the outer edge of the upper arm down. Extend your forearms and turn your palms down. Firm your knees, flex your feet. Sink your lower belly to the spine, sides of the waist down. Okay, press the left leg down and inhale, raise your right leg up and exhale down. Press the right leg down and inhale, raise the left leg up and exhale down. Then continue, single leg raiser. If it's challenging on your back, you could bring your hands a little bit under your buttocks. Palms are down for this one. Press your palms down, have your arms right alongside your hips. Bring your arms close in so the hands touch your buttocks. Yep. Press the outer edge of the upper arm down, even as you turn the forearm down. Sink the waist. Exhale, sink the waist. Don't push the belly up. Maintain the belly hollow and sinking down, because if the belly pushes up, the lower back arches, right? You want to keep the lower back flattening towards the mat. Okay. Keep both knees straight. Don't, yeah. So if your leg only lifts so high because you're tight, that's fine, right? Don't cheat by letting the other leg lift. Yeah. Maintain both legs. As you raise one leg up, both knees are straight, and that's as far as she goes. That's really the truth. Stick with that. Yeah, there you go. And extend the inner feet and pull the outer feet back. So you wouldn't walk like that, right? So you'd walk like that, right? Like that. Yeah, so don't let your feet curl in. Yep, firm knees. Good. Stay there and breathe. A bit like that. Yep. Firm waist. So the breath moves more into the rib cage and chest. Relax your foot. A bit like that. Yes. Good. And then finishing up on your left leg, and then come back and rest in Shavasana. So I'm hoping that these could become your best friends and you would like to do these every day for your body and your mind and your breath. It's profound, right? And then, you know, as you really start to do it, you realize how profound they are for your nervous system. Okay. So then we'll do a leg pump. So for the leg pump, you can bend both your knees, and then you're going to take your belt and open it all the way up. And watch me for a second, okay? So you're going to hold, you're going to get the belt on like the sole of your foot, just below the ball. And watch how I bring my hands, palms away, hook my thumbs, slide the hands back. Okay. So now I was trying to get you to do this when you were holding the knee. So when I pull the arms this way, the leg goes, and then I pull the leg this way and the arm goes, right? And you can do it with this leg bent if you're very tight. And for me, that's a little too, like I need a little more because I can do that. You're not going to go all the way down, right? It's not about going down. It's about going this way and then releasing, right? So if it's easy enough, then you do your other leg straight. Don't force, but encourage this opening as you're able. And we'll do it on both sides. Okay. So if you're tight, bend your other knee, right? And remember the arms. So the arms are straight the whole time. So you take your arms up like this, and then let me show you how to hold the rope. That. Actually, I think you had it on that side. There. Okay. So now and relax the white knuckle death grip. Okay. And then so your hands can slide a little bit, and then you hold. Find the right hold. Oops, no. This should go like that. There. Yeah. Yeah. So now you pull your arms this way, and then you pull your leg this way, and let your arms relax when you pull your leg this way, right? Yeah. Arms engage, leg releases, arms release. Yeah. So there's something, it's kind of like rubbing your belly in the top of your head sometimes, these things, right? So once you get it, you start to get it, and then you go, right? So it's just gentle encouragement of opening up the back of that leg. Yeah. Yeah. Good, Mary. And then, so instead of releasing all the way down, so this is what you're doing now, you just release. Yeah. Try to keep your palms facing in, wrap your fingers around, and take your arms. Yep. Arms engage, release. Leg release, engage. Yeah. Now after you've done it a few times with the legs, now straighten this. Now straighten this one. And try. Oh, don't go so high. That's enough. And keep this guy. Here, I'll help you. Now I know why I never came to this woman's class. Straight elbows, straight wrists. Turn your fingers to face each other. Straighten your wrists. Stay there and breathe. Fingers that curl in. Fingers curl in. Okay, your wrists straight, right? Wrist, yes. So because you're gonna create tension here. We don't want that. You want a straight line of, and not that. This is straight. Yeah. And turned in. Yes. There you go. Yeah. Change leg. Good. Maybe this will become your friend even. You never know. Then you can go to Supta Padangusthasana, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do a whole thing on the back and never get off the ground. Yeah. You have to have a warm floor though. The floor is warm. The air is cold. Yeah. Change legs. Left leg. If you haven't already. And if you're going in your own rhythm and changing legs more frequently, that's also fine. Right? Yes, Faina. Very good. Right? And you don't have to release your leg all the way down because it's like there's no point. Release it and then go the other way. Yeah. So the release is only to stop the stretch. Okay. And then you go again. And then you stop the stretch. And then you go again. And you stop. And you go again. Right? And stop. But you don't go all the way down. You don't need to go that far. That's enough, right? Yeah. Yes, it's this way. This is what we're trying to get at. Yeah. The other time we were like raising and lowering the legs for strength. This is to open the back of your leg. Straight elbows, straight wrists. Yes, straight wrists. This wrist is funky. Yes, maintain. Firm elbows, firm knees. Yeah, good. That's it. Yes. Yep, and you can adjust. You can do it one more time on each leg. You can adjust how far you are with your arms. Maybe you want your arms further from your leg. Maybe you want it closer. Straighten. Good. Yep. Don't hold your breath. Take your arms a little further. There you go. Straight elbows, straight wrists. Release. Pump. Pump. Arms. Leg. Arms. Leg. Arms. let. When your leg goes this way, relax your arms. When your arms go that way, relax your leg, right? Yeah. Straight elbows. Yes. Maintain. Yeah. Good. Change leg. Good. And we've done a couple times on each side. When you feel complete, you can rest. Try to keep your legs straight. Suzanne. Yes. That's it. Yes. Yes. And then release. Pump. Pump. Back and forth. Back and forth. Breathe. Find that rhythm like a seesaw, right? It's kind of like, remember the seesaws? They don't exist anymore. They were dangerous. But they were. But you know, it's kind of like that idea. Yeah. Yes, you got it, Mary. Yeah. Kind of fun. Good. Okay. And then when you feel complete, come down and rest. Very good. Then when you feel ready, you're going to bend your knees one by one in that lazy ragdoll method, roll over and come up. And we're going to do something which I don't want to tell you the name of. Okay, so let's just start. So you're going to have some props handy, like a lot of blankets and a bolster or two, okay? And then you're going to sit on your heels in Vajrasana, okay? So when you sit on your heels, you're lengthening the tops of your ankles and feet, but you try to draw the outer ankles in. My right one really likes to go out. So that you could get your heels together between your sitting bones. You might need a roller under your ankles. You might need something between your hips and heels. Draw the outer ankles in, sit on the heels. Ooh, Katie, I hardly see you with your hair down. It's so nice. Look like you're about 20 years old. So have the blanket in between your hips and heels instead of under your knees. Yeah, put the, or is it your ankles that are bothering you?
Right.
It's your knees.
Yeah.
Okay. So your knees are sensitive. Let's lift this up a moment. Okay. And then let's go like this.
Okay.
Try that. Okay, and let your ankles release back. Now sit on your heels. Start to sit and see if you can sit up. Okay. Now lift your hips. Come on your hands and knees again. Come. Yep. Okay. Now sit.
Better.
There. Can you sit all the way up? Yeah. If shoulders over your hips, ears over your shoulders. Let your weight descend into your buttocks to your heels. Where does it hurt? Okay. So I'm going to give you another blanket. Lift your buttocks. Walk your knees a little more forward. Okay. Lift your feet up. Okay. Okay. Try that. Better? Okay, so that's a roller under your ankles so that you're not straightening the front of your ankle quite so much. That will affect the arches of your feet. What do you need, do you think, Mary? We don't know yet. Okay. Yeah, so roll it more back even. Yeah, try that. Try that. Good. Okay. Interlace your fingers, webbings together. Turn your palms out, spread your palms, lift your elbows, thumbs down, and take your index finger and try to tuck it behind your hand instead of down. Yes. And interlace those two. Interlace. Yeah. No, the other, it has to go behind. Yeah, that one has to go behind. Yes, like that. Now, pinkies up, thumbs down. This, yes, that's it. Good. Good. Now find your shoulder blades, lift them up, squeeze your head with your shoulder blades, and then broaden them and draw them down, firm them on the back. Take the waist back, tailbone a little forward. Lift the pelvic floor. Now start to straighten your arms a little. Good. Now draw the shoulder blades down and bring the elbows in towards each other. Squeeze the elbows, pinkies up, thumbs down, and roll the wrists towards each other. Try to extend the thumbs down. Yes, like that. Tailbone forward, side to the waist back, hips on the heels. Slowly take your arms up. Good. Now you need some resistance here. Turn your hands more. Pinkies back. Extend your thumbs forward. Squeeze your elbows. Now keep your hips on your heels. Lift your waist up. Lift your ribs up off your hips. Lift one rib up off the other. Lift the sides of the body up to get more length in the arms. Now slide the sides of the throat back and tilt your head back and look up and adjust. Thumbs forward, wrists face in, pinkies back. Squeeze the elbows in. Look straight ahead. Once again, lift the ribs up off the waist and look straight ahead. Yeah, squeeze the elbows in. Good. Now release down. Turn your hands this way. Change the interlace and repeat. Pinkies up, thumbs down, elbows up, shoulder blades down. Waist back, tailbone forward. Extend your arms. Draw the outer edge of the upper arms down. Squeeze the elbows in. Pinkies up, thumbs down, wrists face in. Straight elbows. Straighten your arms slowly, and then draw the shoulder blades down. Squeeze the elbows in, waist back. Good. And then inhale, take the arms up. Good. Keep the hips down. Lift the ribs up. One rib up off the other. Squeeze the elbows in. Good. Yes. And then slide the sides of the throat back, look up, pinkies back, thumbs forward, wrist face in, elbows squeeze in, come back, head neutral, come back to neutral head. Lift your ribs, lift your chest, lift your arms up and back. Good, and then release and slowly come down. So with the change of the interlace, instead it's this or this, but no people in the church. No people. People are home. So the fingers are all at the back. Yeah. So here's one interlace, and then if you change, it's just the other index finger on top. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Now come onto your hands and knees and extend one leg and push the heel back, and then the other leg. You can do this a couple of times. So you straighten the knee and flex the ankle, right? Because we were just straightening the ankle and flexing the knee, right? Opposite move, okay? Now, you'll sit on your heels again, but this time, your sitting bones come down in between your heels, okay? And you can press your legs like that. So your feet are a little bit apart. We're moving towards Virasana. Come, bring your knees way forward on that. Way forward. Bring your knees way forward so your ankles are right on the roller, and bring your feet a little wide now. A little bit wider feet. Yeah, and sit on your heels again. But this time your sit bones, the two bones at the bottom of your pelvis, are in between your heels. Before you were trying to get your heels in between your sit bones. Okay, so you're widening your feet. Okay, interlace your fingers behind you. So to do that, lift, roll your shoulders back. See if you can get your fingers together, lift your chest, squeeze your elbows, and then start to straighten and bend like that. Good times. Yeah, good. Straighten and bend, pump. Straighten and bend, straighten and bend. Bend your elbows, not your torso. Elbows. I mean, it'll bend a little. Yeah. Now look here. Look here. So instead of having your arms fall down and try to do it, lift your shoulders up and then take them back. Yes. Yes. Now you can get somewhere. Shoulder blades come together over the spine. Shoulder blades come apart, right? Keep rolling the shoulders up and back. Yes. Now keep your arms down and lift your chest up. Squeeze your elbows in. Now find your tailbone. Take it towards your pubis, sides of the waist back. Lift your arms up a little. Now, when you do that, it pitches your shoulders forward, right? Now, look at me. Reverse C in the armpit chest. Back of the armpit to the front. Front of the armpit up. Now, maintain your arms. Inner edge of the shoulder blades down. Yes. Lift the arms up a little more. And repeat. Tailbone forward, sides of the waist back. Take that reverse C in the armpit chest. Lift your head up, Payina to neutral. Head up. Yeah. Good. Release. Loosen. Okay. Look, behind you, try to do the opposite interlace, okay? So you lift your shoulders, and instead of this interlace, you just change like that, okay? Keep your shoulders lifted. Lift your shoulders and roll your shoulders back and lift your chest. Then try to squeeze the elbows towards each other behind your back, and then straighten and bend. Do it a few times. Yep. Now roll the shoulders back and then work on straightening the elbows. Yes, pull the arms down, lift the chest up, squeeze the elbows towards each other. Tailbone forward, sides of the waist back. Take your arms up. Take your head to neutral. Yeah. Back of the armpit to the front, front of the armpit up, inner edge of the shoulder blades down as you lift the arms up. Tailbone forward, sides of the waist back. Yes, arms up. Reverse C in the armpit, chest, neutral head. Take a breath and release. Good, and loosen. Oof, yes, and come forward and stretch out your legs. Okay, do that a couple of times. Now, this next one is Virasana. Okay, so watch. You're going to have whatever height you need. Could be 2 bolsters. Okay, so then your knees come together, feet apart. And then you dig the flesh straight back from behind your knees and spread your calf flesh. So then you pull that calf flesh back as you spread the outer calf out. And then you should be able to get your hands in between your hips and heels, right? And then you sit on your support in between your heels, right? Take a bolster. Use the bolster. Put the bolster down first, then the blanket probably on top of that. Yeah, just like Mary's got hers. Yeah, that's right. So move your bolster into the middle of the mat so you have equal sides on both sides. Yeah. Then bring your knees on in front of the bolster. Walk your knees forward. Yeah, bring your knees forward to the bolster. Yeah. So look, your knees are going to be together, right? So the support. Yeah. Then the feet apart. Yeah. And then when you go in, you really try to empty out behind the knees. That's the most important thing for the knees. Empty out, hollow the back of the knees. Not so much turning this way, because if you turn, you're pulling too much the inner knee skin. So it's back. Spread that calf flesh. Yes, that's better. And then if you can't sit, you need another blanket or you need a roller under your ankles. You okay? Good. All right. So now observe your lower legs. Come forward. See, you haven't, Fernanda, you can't have stuff in between your thighs. Your knees come forward, way forward. Walk your knees forward. Use a bolster. You need a bolster too, right? Yeah. Good. So Mary, do you need more height? No, you okay? Okay. Okay. So your knees don't have to be together, but you want your thigh bones pointing straight ahead, right? So take one hand to one knee and lift that knee up. So that's stretching this skin towards the inner knee. So the inner knee comes up. It's the inner knee pulling that you don't want to do. Then you lift. Again, on the other side, stretch that and come back, right? And then look at you can lean a little to one side and compress the outer edge of that leg because you want to be more on the outer edge of the knee and the lower leg, not the inner edge. This one too. Press, right? Yep, and then come back. So the lower legs and the upper legs are doing the same thing, but the lower legs point back, the upper legs point forward. What are they doing? If you know, don't say. Fernanda. Which rotation are they going? Which way are they turning? Internal rotation, yeah, of the thighs, but also the lower leg, right? Internal rotation. Yeah, very good. So now what we're going to do is Ekapada Supta Virasana. We're working towards that. So you might need, and you're probably going to need more support back here, right? So you might need like blocks and another bolster. But what you're going to do, I'll show you, okay? So you're going to keep your right leg, and I'll mirror you, and then you're going to pull your left leg out and sit like this. So that's what we're going to start with, okay? Let's start with that and see how you do. You can go ahead and just grab more props if you want. Might as well. Have fun with props. I'm mirroring you. So your right leg stays in Virasana. Your left leg comes into what we call Marichiasana. Yes. Your left leg is up. Right leg, sorry. Yeah, I was going to try to mirror you. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. So then you have to take whatever height you think you might need, and then we're going to eventually recline back. So you might want to be more forward, Margie, and whatever else. But we can, we can come out and redo. Okay. So your right leg stays like this, and then you bring your left leg forward like that. Yes. This leg is called Marichiasana. So the heel comes back towards the buttocks, right? And then you hold the shin and lift up straight. Lift up straight. Yep. Good. Not terrible, right? Okay. Not yet. Yeah. So the next part, so when we start to go down, right? So then that's when it gets complicated. Okay. So for me, I'm going to remove the support. Actually, I don't know if I am. Kind of feels like I still need it. Maybe I'm going to do less support. I might have a bolster there. Okay. So just start to lean back like that. Yes. And turn your hands forward. Yeah. Ah, very good. Okay. So now we would eventually going to go all the way back, right? Like this. You can move this foot a little forward. You can rest on your elbows. Yeah. Okay. So that's where I'm going to give you more support. Okay.
Pulling my right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh.
Okay. Maybe. Let's see. Try bringing your head back. Tuck your chin. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
How's that?
Oh.
Not terrible, right? So we need something like that for you, right? Maybe we can do this. See if that's enough. If not, I'll get you a blanket too. Tuck your chin. Oh. How's that? Yes, that's the idea. Do you want a little more height maybe? I'll get you a blanket. Okay. Yeah. So then you come up, take a breath, and do it again. Better?
I can do that.
Yeah.
Even with the stretches.
Okay. And then you might, yes, you can move this foot a little more forward. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. You surviving? This is called Ekapada Suptavirasana. Okay. So your right leg is in, stay there if you can. Okay. Right. Even if this knee pops up a little, it's okay. Okay. So those of you, so if you do this, if you straighten this leg, you might find you like it better, but I think this gives you a little more support, right? Straighten this leg. Those of you who wanted to take it further, and look what I'm doing. I press into this right foot and lift my hip so I can adjust my pelvis, right? Really get that. And you work on your outer right hip towards your inner right knee gently. Then some of you might want to do this, Margie. Maybe not. Take the right knee up. Yeah. So come off that blanket, I think, that you're sitting on, that you're lying, or your buttocks should be off of it anyway. You could have your back on it. Yeah, but your buttocks should be off of it. Yeah. Yes, Mary. Whatever you did looks good. I don't know what you just did. Yes, it needs to support your lower back more. Exactly. That's correct. Yes, I think that's enough for you right there, right? Yeah. Yes, yes, Faina, good. Looks good. Yeah. Now, can you bring your left knee up towards your chest? Yes. There you go. Good. And keep reaching your outer right hip to your inner right knee. Slide your right knee in towards the midline more. Yeah. Yes. Well, that's your left knee, but also both. Yeah. Yes. Good. And then you could extend your leg, your top leg up if you wanted to. So push this foot down a little forward and lift both your hips up. So you can adjust your pelvis, right? And you can adjust here. Yes. Is that okay for you? It's a lot. Yeah. Maybe it's enough, just like that. Yeah, this became a little bit out of whack, right? So yeah. Yeah. Like that. Okay. Like that. That's enough for you. That's enough. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so eventually you'd be lying flat on your back, right? And then you could take this leg up like that. Okay. Yeah. Should we try that on the other side? Okay. Good. So you can get out any way you can. Best way is you come up like this, and come back to here. Yeah. Good. And then take this leg here, Dandasana, both legs. Yeah. Straight knees. Yeah. Push out through your heels. Good. So that's a counter pose for your knees. Straight knees, like grip your knees well, Faina. Take your outer knees down more, any amount. Out, yeah. And do it with your strength, like push down here. Yeah. Not your hands, but your legs. Push your outer knees down more and more, not the inner knees. Yes, especially the right one, especially the right one, especially the right, yeah. Okay, so then we'll change legs, right? So your left leg is in Virasana, right? So you can dig the flesh out, right? You can sit on that shin to get more on the outer leg. You can lift the knee. And you take this one in Marichyasana. That already kind of intensifies the matter a little, right? Yeah. Move your foot. Yeah, sit up straight for a moment. Now, yes, pull that shin. Yes, and then lift your sacrum. Look here, Paina. The right, yes, the right, yes. Up, lift it up. Yes, very good. Yes, excellent. Good. So then when you start to go back, you bring your hand back, you can move your foot. So even your heel and knee are in the same line, right? Because now you're using it more for support. And look, I can lift and adjust my pelvis so that my tailbone moves down, sitting bones towards the backs of the thighs, right? And I can adjust this knee, and then I can go like this, right? And I can adjust this foot and leg. I can adjust here. Woo! A little tight. Yes. Yeah. 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 That's it. I know it. I'm going to give you a little more height. Okay. This I'll move back too much. Okay. Okay. Now. Better.
Oh,
Yes, Faina. Good. Yeah. Yes. Easier, right? Try with the leg bent. Yeah. Lift your hips and move your hips. There we go. Yes. Yes. Now reach this way. Yeah. You okay there? Good. And then you can push into this foot and this shin and lift your hips up. Yeah, move this way. Yes, yes, like that. Adjust your pelvis. More neutral. Right now you feel more stretch here, less arch here. That's the idea. And this is to go like that. Yes. That. Yes. That. Good. Okay. Good. Okay. Yes. Emily. Yes. Katie. You can take more height under your head, maybe. You could lift your head. Just use that blanket you have there and fold it in half again. Yeah, because your head's kind of falling back. So better. Oh, and also because this is on this, so this is dropping back. So try that. That way. And then this might be too high. Try this.
Better.
Yeah.
so is the buttocks off the support?
Eventually, yeah. Eventually, yeah. Lift your hips up, everything up, and then adjust your pelvis. That, yes, like that, and then this there. This can go here, yeah, for more support.
And following.
That way. Yeah. So eventually, you would want to get your hips all the way off your support. Yeah. Yeah. You could still have support under your back if you want. Yeah. Yes, good, Faina. Excellent. Now extend your leg up and hold behind the thigh. No, stay there. There you go. Yeah. Yes, look, even Suzanne is trying to do that. Good job, Suzanne. Oh, okay.
It's okay.
All right, then you fell. Okay, good. All right. So now when you're ready, you can come out. Yeah. So how do you get out? So come up, ideally the same way you came in, but if you can't, you just roll over and just come out, right? But then you can come up to here. Right leg straight, left leg straight, Dandasana. Very good. Okay. Good. Excellent. I mean, it's really good to give you reshape your feet, lower legs, and the core of the body is not here, right? It's here, from your inner ankles, your inner lower legs to your inner knees, inner thighs to your perineum, and then it goes up the front of the body to the front of the throat. That's the deep inner core of the body. So we tend to lose any connection to the planet from here. This is where we lose, right? So this is so beneficial, right? Because then we're walking around like this is weak and there's no connection, right? So this is inner feet forward, outer feet back, and that Virasana feet will help with that too. Vajrasana. Okay, so we spent a lot of time doing that. So now I have to think what we should do next, which I think we'll do cross bolsters. Okay, so it's going to be like this. No yoga mat. You need 2 bolsters, a couple of blankets, and a block. Okay, so just take your mat and kind of roll it up into the middle of the room. You want to have 2 blankets folded just like you get them out of the prop wall. Depending on how tall you are and everything and flexible, a flat and a round bolster are good. If you want a little less height, take 2 flat bolsters. If you want more, you could have round. The round ones are getting kind of flat anyway. So that's what happens. You know, that's okay. So you make a T. So the flat bolster goes on the bottom and the round one on top, right? So the top one is perpendicular to the wall. I ordered the bolsters. I ordered the bolsters for you guys. Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you when it comes. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then you need a block at the wall and then a blanket or 2 for your head here. Okay. Yeah. So can I show with you, Suzanne? So the bottom bolster is horizontal to the wall, top bolster vertical. This is a floppy one. I'm gonna get you a better one. Like that. And then this is for your feet. And then you have 1 or 2 for your head. Now, if this is too high for you, I kind of suspect it might be. Let's do 2 flat. I think that's better. Okay, I'm going to show on Suzanne's space. So if you don't know, watch. Okay. So you sit in the middle, push the bolsters down here. Woo, that was just the thing for the zipper. Slide your buttocks forward. My feet are still on the ground and knees bent. Now look, I'm trying to place my shoulder blades on this top bolster. And then I just push into my feet so my buttocks lightens up so I can glide back. But I try not to lift, right? Because I want this to grab the bottom edge of my shoulder blades until I slide all the way down. Shoulders on the blanket, head on the blanket. See that? Shoulders down, not up like this. So this is lifting. And then I hold the bottom bolster, put my feet on the block, push back. And then at some point, I don't want to go back anymore. I just want to straighten my legs, wedge my feet in. So I have this nice long line here. Push the legs to the wall and down and open the chest. You see? And then when you go to come out, you just bend your knees, slide everything back, roll over. Okay. And if you find this is not high enough for you, we can give you a little more height. So we'll see how that feels for you. It was low for me, and I don't need these. I can go all the way down, right? So, okay, there. Margie, you got to get your shoulders down. Are they going to go? Yeah, they're going. Okay, yeah. Uh-huh. They'll get there. Is that what you're saying? So do you want something under your shoulders? maybe, I think today. Yeah, because you have some pretty high bolsters there.
Yep.
Try that. I think that's better.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, after some time, you might be able to reduce or get rid of, right? And also, you might want the block lower, or you might need more height for the block. Yeah. So up to you how much height you want there. Okay. So I'd rather see your shoulder blades a little bit. Yes. So you get that bridge shape here. Yeah. So it's up and the back of the neck is long, like bridge or shoulder stand. But don't harden anything. Don't harden anything. How does it feel? Feels good? Good. That's the idea. It should be, it's a resting pose, right? Yeah. Your feet just a little that way. Okay.
Feel uneven.
Yeah.
The right one is too high.
Yeah. So you're working your leg just a little bit, pressing the legs to the wall and down. Yeah. And then you're letting the abdomen release and the ribs lift, chest open. Yes. Yes. Good. Okay. Breathe and relax. Yeah. So, but let's do this. Now bend your knees, bring your feet flat. Now lift your hips and just scoot back a little more. Yes, there you go. That's the shape. Bridge and shoulder stand, right? Yes. Now put your feet
Hands.
like goalie post, but first bring your feet up on the block.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. Just bring your feet on the block. I'm giving you a push. Now straighten your legs. Go. Go, go, go. Yes. That's what we call wedging in. Isn't that great? Wedging in. In this. Yes.
Cute.
Like goalie post, like that.
Uh-huh.
But you can see if that doesn't work, you can go more straight, whatever. It's just so, yeah, that's better for you. How's that? Good. Okay. Yeah, so you came way off. So bend your knees. So bend your knees, come out. Yeah, you need to come out all the way out and start over. Now, sit here, right in the middle. Good. Now, scoot your feet forward. Scoot your buttocks all the way forward.
All the way forward.
Yeah, scoot your feet forward. Scoot your feet forward. Buttocks forward more. More. Lift your butt and move forward. More. Good. Now lie down. Okay. Now you have to lift your hips and scoot back and slide. Slide. Keep lifting and slide off.
Oh, yeah.
No, no, feet on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Lift your buttocks. No, no, don't scoot your the bolster. Just you. Lift your buttocks up. Like, yeah, now slide back. Yes, keep going until your shoulders land. Yes. Now back of the neck long. Yes. Now buttocks down. Good. Feet on the block. Heels on the block. Heels up. Feet on the wall. Hold here. Hold the bolster. Then push back a little. Everything, including the bolsters. Yep. Stop. That's it. Okay. You push the leg this way. Eyes this way. Yeah, you let all this open. Okay. Good. You right there? You can also do, you got Diana right there.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Is that good?
Yeah.
Just see if you can, is that okay? Keep the shoulder blades going. Relax and let me do it. That way. Up. The bolster. So try to catch the shoulder blade on this part of the bolster here. There you go. How's that? Yeah. And then at some point, you might be able to reduce the blanket. Under your head. Let's try taking one away from you now and see.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
We can take one away from you as well. Let's try. You can take one blanket away. Get one away. Yep. Better? Yeah. After some time, you want less. You comfortable or okay or not okay? Kind of what?
Kind of okay.
Kind of okay. Where do you feel discomfort?
A little tightness of the left thigh.
Yeah, you're falling off the bolsters to the left. Bend your knees, bring your feet flat. Yeah, take a breath. So let's come out. So in order to come out, now just lift your hip, move your hips to the right a little bit. Yes, and lower down. Yes. Yeah, can you feel now how you're centered and you were rolling off?
Yeah.
Yeah, just take a couple breaths there. And then you're gonna, when you're ready to come out, oh, look, you just got happier. You have an option, let us say. You can just stay here, or you can come out and take legs up the wall, okay? So might be nice to have your legs elevated for a little bit after all the work we did. So coming out, you bend your knees and then you widen your feet, keep your feet flat on the floor, lift your hips and push the bolsters forward. So the top bolster comes, yeah, and then you lie down, bend your knees, roll over to your side, take a breath and then come up. So for legs up the wall, take your yoga mat, skinny edge to the wall, and then you can decide, I think it'd be good if you elevate your hips. So have a bolster under your hips or a couple of blankets, unless that's really uncomfortable for you, then you don't have to, okay? Skinny edge of the mat, and everybody can be on this wall, just space yourself so you have a little space in between. And I'll tidy up once I know what you're using. I'll start tidying up. And if you would prefer to be on this orange wall, that's fine too. It's just a colder wall. Yeah. Legs up the wall, hips on a bolster. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah, and you have about a fist width distance from the wall and the bolster. Now, how do you get up? Right? So I'll show you. You come to the side, swivel. You lie down here, then you roll over. So you lie on the edge so that when you roll over, you're in the middle. And then you can use the belts and stuff to help you get there. Okay? Your best. I'll help you. Okay? Yeah, so the bolster's too far from the wall. Too far. Lift your hips. Okay. Yeah, try that. Yeah. Good. Better? So just like we did before, you want to do let me get it. Helped you. So yes, the shoulder blade like that, right? You feel the difference? Yes. How does that feel? Now relax that arm and just relax. Yes. So that now you have this bridge shape like we had before. And then the legs go up. And then you can have a little space, inner groins that way, and let the sitting bone drop. Yes. So that there's a natural curve in your back. Yes. Butt drops. Yes. Yes. How's that feel? Good. Yeah, move your shoulders a little this way. A bit more. You can hold the rope, get a good grip. Yeah. And bend your knees, lift your hips. Yeah. Okay. And then actually, yeah, it's not going to work because
I do.
lift. Yeah, there you go. Try that. Now lower down. Okay. Now release the belt with your hands. Yeah. And let your chest land. Like we did before. It's the same position here as
Gotcha.
before, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Thank you.
so this is called Viparita Karni. It's a combination of bridge and shoulder stand. And it's the most beneficial restorative pose on the planet. Okay. And then you let your inner groins descend and you're sitting. Yes. Yes. Now, if it's uncomfortable, we can adjust the position of the bolster one way or the other. Okay. So, and then let your abdomen just, as you exhale, every time you exhale, let your abdomen release more. And every time you inhale, let your chest expand more. Yeah. Let your feet come a little apart, right? And since you're a little bit tight, we might not get you any closer, but I'd like to get the bolster maybe then a little further back. So lift your hips. Okay, yeah, keep going closer. Yes, that's better. Yeah.
There's an arch.
Yes, yes, there should be. You have an arch in your back. That's what we want. Now, if it's hurting your back, okay. Okay. Now the inner groin, no, keep your leg a little apart for now. What happened? Oh. Siri started talking to you. Let your buttocks drop down that way. Yeah, so like that. You see? Do you want a sandbag here to help with that? Or is that, can you relax that area? Or if it's too much, we will, yeah? Okay. Yeah, so don't engage this.
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah. So once you've got this shape, shoulder blades this way, then you relax there. You disengage. Yes. See if you can find that release right now. You okay there? Good. Feels okay? Yeah, good. Yeah. And now with your feet, you can do a little bit of that. So that's what you want to work towards, right? Yes. And observe how and don't pull, don't harden. No, don't do that. Yeah, it's more this than that, right? Yeah. And then relax that effort. And you don't want your knees rolling in, right? You want your knees pointing straight, not out, straight back. Right? Yeah. And then drop here. Yes. Let this drop there. Yes. Let this spread and be open and free. And you just stay here. Yes. That one too. Yes. Yes. Okay. And then relax. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Yeah. Okay. Next time you would move up just a little that way. But
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Breathe. Yes. Yes. Good. Yeah. You okay now? We'll be here for another 4 minutes. Okay, so you can just stay with your legs straight, or if you prefer to do some variations with your legs, that's fine too. Okay. Margie, lift your left leg higher. Lower your right leg down more. Lift your left leg a little higher and turn it in. Yeah. Now you're even. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Two more minutes. It's good, fine now. I mean, Fernanda. Fernanda. Also fine. No. So if you would like to do something just a little bit before you sort of pop up to close, I think it's a good idea. So those of you who've had your legs straight, just bend your knees down towards a squat and be there for a few breaths. So your feet can be a little bit wide apart, like hip width. A couple of breaths. And then when you feel ready, you're going to push into the wall, lift your hips and wiggle your way back. And then you'll land your buttocks on the ground behind your bolster, and then put your feet up on the bolster and take your knees apart in Baddha Konasana. So your feet will be elevated, your buttocks on the ground. So you just wiggle your way back off the wall. You might find you need to go more back, a little more back, probably, Mary. Yeah, try that. Try that. Yep. And then feet together, knees apart. Let your knees come out to the side. Yeah, Baddha Konasana. Yeah. Take a few breaths there. Bring your feet all the way on the bolster. Fernanda, buttocks off the bolster. Scoop back. Yeah, there you go. And if you want, you can have your toes on the wall and point your toes away from each other, balls of the feet on the wall. That's kind of a nice, but the feet together, inner edges of the feet together. Yeah, try that. I'll help you. Okay, there. You're good. That's kind of nice. Or maybe not, but yeah, it stretches the toes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you can do, if you want to try it like that. Yeah. Good. And then lift your legs up. Take a breath. You might need to scoot back a little more. And then you'll cross your legs like you're sitting cross-legged with your feet on the bolster. Yep. So it's easier, but different. Kind of interesting. Supta Sukhasana, reclining easy pose. And then inhale, lift your legs up, uncross your feet, pause for a moment, separate your feet on the bolster, take a breath, relax, then change the cross of your legs and repeat. Okay, and then inhale and raise your legs up and uncross your feet. Place your feet flat on the bolster. Pause and breathe, relax. Elongate the back of your neck, tuck your chin slightly, and then roll over onto your side and rest a couple of breaths. Draw your knees up towards your chest. You can rest your head on your upper arm if you like. And then when you're ready to come all the way up, you pull your waist in, roll towards the floor, look down. So the last thing to come up is your head. And then sit cross-legged for a moment. You can sit up on the bolster if you like. And settle your shoulders over your hips, ears over your shoulders, and settle into your seat. Broaden the pelvic floor, rolling the front thighs in, the back thighs out. Take your hands to heart center, prayer position, and press your thumbs firmly into the sternum, the side of your thumb, and lift the bottom to the top, up. Lift your upper arm bones, roll them back, and then draw the shoulder blades in, elbows down. Yeah, let the elbows drop, and then take a breath, and as you exhale, release your head, chin down towards your chest. Pause here for a few moments, bowing your head to your heart. Keep the lift of your heart and release your hands down to your thighs. And from the outer hips and thighs, lift the side body up. Take that reverse C in the armpit chest and release the head more down. And then with your eyes closed on an inhale, slowly curl up the back of your neck. Settle your ears once again over your shoulders. And with your eyes closed, raise your gaze so that when you do open your eyes, you'll be looking straight ahead. But move the eyes to the back of the head and soften and broaden your internal focus. Drop down into your heart center and imagine that you're sensing, feeling, seeing, hearing, smelling, everything from your heart center in all directions. And keeping your sense of self in your heart, allow your eyelids to gently float open. Namaste. Thank you. Okay.